what it means to us is that you can learn forever. It doesn't mean that you stop learning. We know through neuroscience that we create new connections in our brain, right? And that it actually is a healthy thing. It keeps and holds back certain diseases that are related to aging. And I look at people who are in my life that are elderly, my mom and my father-in-law, who are still alive, and they're in their, one is almost 80 and one is in his 80s. And I look at them both and I look at how they are very active and they're continuously learning. My father-in-law is always reading something, and always we have great intellectual conversations, and I love having conversations with him, and almost debating on things with him too is fun. And my mom, the same way. My mom is, she never went to college, and she raised 4 kids pretty much by herself, and worked 2 or 3 jobs, and she still works. She works 2 jobs. and she doesn't have to, but she wants to keep busy. She knows that if she keeps her mind busy and she's learning new things, that she'll be healthy. And she wants to be healthy, and she wants to live and be happy. And so learning feeds her. And I see that, and I think they're inspirational people to look at in our adult world of people that, you know, the average American doesn't even read a book after they've graduated from high school. And that's kind of sad. So how do you change that in our next generation to let them see that they need to continually learn? Learning doesn't stop after you leave high school. It's there forever. It's with you forever. And it's so powerful. And I have a grandson who's a year old. And I'm just so looking forward to him speaking, and I can teach him more. And one of the things I did with both of my children, my younger 2 children, I have 2 older and 2 younger, was teaching them sign language, right? So they can communicate better and they can start to talk and understand more, so I could teach them things. And so, you know, learning and exposing a child at a young age when those synapses are still, you know, forming and shaping is amazing. And as you get older, those learning processes change, right? And everybody's learning style becomes different. But neuroplasticity is about shaping and molding. And we continue to shape and mold throughout our lives. And it doesn't stop. I think lifelong learning is important for our society and the example we set for the next generation. If we want to sustain and we want to make sure that people have lives that are valuable and that they're in balance, right? That we have to learn how to do that better. And through technology and STEAM, it enables us. Right? So the more we can learn about those different things to make and continuously improve in Kaizen, the better we will be, right? And the happier, potentially, that we will be, too. You know, the statistics will show you that people who love what they do are healthier, right? They have less stress in their lives. And those people are learning. Those people, if you look at them and you dig into it, you'll find that they're lifelong learners. So we need to show that to the next generation. Well, besides doing an executive MBA at Harvard, which was pretty intense, I would say my most recent learning is building a very sustainable not-for-profit, right? That's what I'm working towards right now. And so whenever I do anything, I look for who has the most knowledge on this. Who are the experts that I can go learn from? And having courage enough to say, I'll ask anybody. and I have no fear of that because I have nothing to lose. Worst thing they can do is say, no, sorry, I can't help you, right? And on to the next one. And I try to teach that to the students. And Warren McFarlane is a professor at Harvard, and he recently published a book about not-for-profits, and I read his book. And it was very insightful and helped me really think through my plan and to make sure that I execute on it well, because I want to make sure this sustains and it does really amazing things for our society. And so in order to do that, you really need to step back and say, who can I learn from, right? Who's done this? I've built a number of not-for-profits, but not to this magnitude, and I want to make sure I do it well. And so doing something well means that you need help, and you need to go to the right people to get that help. So a combination of books and finding people who have the knowledge. And what I do is I'll look on the, if I find somebody that I really aspire to learn from, I'll find all the articles on the internet about them, and I'll find all the articles they've written. And I'll read as much as I can, and I'll have so many insights from doing it. And then I'll go back to my team and say, you know, I learned this, and I share it with them. And so then they learn from me, and I think they love being around me because I bring knowledge to them that they didn't have. And then they bring knowledge to me. the other day looking at a list of all the conferences that I could potentially speak at, and one of my team members who's a teacher, very passionate about solving this problem, she's a K through 12 teacher, and she said to me, here's a conference in Atlanta that I think you should speak at. We should do this. And I said, great, I love it. Thank you for finding it. Can you help me fill out the form and we'll do this together? And she said, oh, I'd love to do this. So it gets that energy going, right? Because you're sharing knowledge with them, they're sharing knowledge with you, and then we're seeking outside our organization to learn from others. And this is where Connect the Dots is really about, is connecting those dots to all those resources and people, because there's so many talented people out there. There's amazing people doing amazing things. And if we just connected the dots to them all, we might do some amazing things.
Hi, I'm Russell Sarder, Chairman and CEO of Netcom Learning. Netcom Learning's purpose is to promote the values of lifelong learning. The moment we think we know it all, we stop growing. Develop the passion for learning, be a lifelong learner.